What's going on, everybody, man? Welcome back to another episode of the Najee Wilkins Show, man. I am blessed and humble, man, to be joined by four-star Jontavius Wyman, man, kid that's completely blew up on the recruiting scene. Has done a lot of things well in his career so far. A staple of the Jonesboro program, man. So you guys will get the exclusive with him. And we're going to talk a little bit about his career, man. So without further ado, man, let's bring him on. What's going on, man?
What's going on?
Not much, man. I appreciate you coming on, man. What you been up to?
Nothing. Just been chilling in the weight room.
I feel you, man. I feel you, man. So for the folks, I know a lot about you, man. For the folks that don't know you, man, talk a little bit about yourself. Where you from, man. Things you like to do, and just a little bit about yourself.
I'm really a calm guy. Like outside football, uh, just I'm very awesome guy to be around. A very happy person, and then I always lighten up the room. I'm from a small town in Georgia, from called Claxton, Georgia, and I moved up here when I was like 9 years old, and ever since then, that's where I call home.
Got you. Now, when you moved up here, right? You're 9 years old. Now, was you always in football at a young age, or did you you picked it up a little bit later? How did that go?
No, sir. I started loving the game of football when I was 3 years old.
Wow, that's early, man. Okay, so 3 years old, you've been playing. So, kind of talk about, man, what is that passion for the sport of football kind of come from? What kind of drew you to it?
It came from my grandparents at first. My grandfather, he was always a good football player. And then with my uncles, I see them playing, and that's when it like motivated me to play football.
Excuse me, I got you. Okay, so that's kind of where it came from. Now I know when you have parents, man, they usually try to get you on the team that they like, you know what I'm saying, and get you to try to work for the team. Man, so what was those teams back in the day that your grandparents and some of your family and uncles liked?
It was always like some of the best teams because I was always faster than the kids I would play with. So it's like I would always score out a touchdown, so they would want me to play against better competition.
Got you. Okay. Now you mentioned too at the old spot, kind of like you cool and calm off the field. Now when the lights come on the field, man, tell me who is John Tavis Wyman when he's on that field, man, on that gridiron when the lights are brightest.
So I'm a dog. I'm a very good coachable player. I'm a great team player and a respectful leader.
No doubt about it, man. And then I just want to ask you a little bit about let's just go back to last season, right? You have this big game, you know what I'm saying? I mean, like you absolutely blow up what you're going to talk about, but in that game, you guys played Dutchtown. Now, walk before we go through all the stats and everything. Walk me through what was it like being on the field in that game? 34-33 back and forth game between y'all two, their crosstown rival. What's that game like, man? Walk me through your shoes.
It was a great game because actually I didn't start in that game, so it was like I had came off the bench, and then early on in the game I was down in my head because I had fumbled on the goal line at the beginning.
Mm.
So then that's when I had to pick it up, and then playing in a game like that, it's a great atmosphere because like especially like two great teams going at each other. So it's like everybody going at each other.
No doubt. Now in that game, you had 150 plus yards, a passing touchdown, a rushing touchdown, and I think a pick six, and you came
So,
off the bench?
so
That's crazy, man. So a lot of guys, as you mentioned, right? Okay, you fumble on the goal line. They'll let that mess with them. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's hard to kind of come back from that. So in that moment, like, what are you telling yourself, like, to kind of still be able to go out there and have that type of performance, even after you made a mistake, but you didn't let it deter your game? What's going through your head in that moment?
what was going through my head was uh, my guys need me, and they needed me to step up. So that's what I did.
No doubt about it, man. No doubt about it. And then kind of talking a little bit about that. I want you to talk about the program. Talk a little about Jonesboro football for those that don't know. What is it about, man? What's some of those core values guys like to go kind of hold close to home and that you guys are kind of about?
It's a brotherhood at Jonesboro. We got this meaning, LOB, which stands for Love Our Brothers, and loving our brother means a lot. And then we got another saying that says 5 Ds. So the 5 Ds mean a lot too. The coaches, they're great coaches. The program is good, and it's just brotherhood here.
Got you. Now, if you don't mind sharing, what were the 5 Ds, man?
Discipline, dedication, determination, desire, and dependable.
I like that, man. Okay, you guys got some nice slogans, man. Okay, I like that. I like that. That's something good to go by. All right, now I want to ask you, you guys this past, like, I think it was spring summer, right before the season started, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Coach Mill came out there. I believe Bacon Network came out there as well. Um, But what was that like, kind of seeing a big name like that, Coach Mill, kind of coming out there, seeing some of you guys, seeing Montez, seeing some of you guys as top talent, and being out there and kind of, getting Jonesboro more out there. Obviously, Coach Sherp, he does a fantastic job, but seeing big time media people come out there like that, what did that mean to you?
It was great because that was the first time I actually met Coach Mill because I haven't known much about him, and that's when yes sir, he had showed me that it's like a lot of like more talent and stuff at Jonesboro, and then he came and like reported all this, so it was a very blessing.
No doubt. Now he compares you, man, to a guy that is really good. I'm sure you've heard the comparison. I just want to get your quick thoughts on it. What you think about being compared to Travis Hunter? I mean, Coach Mill don't just throw out comparisons like that, man. He really means it behind it. But what's your thoughts on that being compared to really a college great right now?
It's very blessed to be compared to somebody like Travis Hunter because you see what he did and how he influenced the young kids. So it's very thankful to be
No
compared.
doubt. No doubt, man. And then I want to ask you, man, just so far in your career, Jontavius, what coaches had the biggest impact? We don't have to go high school. We can go youth. We can go middle school ball. But who has had the biggest kind of impact on your career?
My head coach, Coach Floyd, he has the biggest impact.
Talk a little bit about that. What does he kind of meant to you, man, in terms of not just your development on the field, but even as a man off the field? Talk a little bit about that.
He's a great father figure to me off the field too, because he makes sure that I'm doing the right thing and make sure that I'm straight.
100%. Now, I talked to both of you coaches, talked to Coach Sherp, talked to Coach Domo after that fantastic performance. They raved about your high football IQ, your instincts, how you play on the field. So let's go one by one. Let's go with Coach Domo. What has that meant for you just on the offensive side of the ball, being able to get coached by him and, allowing you to kind of continue to grow and kind of flourish into your role offensively?
Coach Damo he's a very funny guy. And it's great being coached by him because even off the field, he's like a great big brother to you, and he's very inspirational too. Because as you know, he was never able to go to the draft because COVID had hit, so it was basically like he never got his chance. So he giving us a chance.
No doubt. And then talking a little bit about that, in your eyes, obviously you play both sides, but what is the kind of key factors you think you need to be a good to elite receiver on the high school level and eventually going into college in your eyes?
The key factors really is footwork and making sure that I can like read a defender because you always have to read a defender like because you can't just be out there freelanding running routes. You gotta always make sure you know what you're doing out there.
Now, is it important from a wide receiver, right? Not to kind of telegraph kind of the route you're running. You have to do you kind of use the leverage against the defender? If he's playing you a little bit too far outside, are you going to kind of go inside? If he's playing too far inside, you go outside. Just talk a little bit about that aspect as well.
Yes, sir. Because as you know, I play defensive back too, so it's very easy to like read a defensive back because I play it too. And same thing when I'm at corner reading the receiver.
No doubt about it. And then DB, let's talk about that. Just what are some of those same things? What are those key factors just to be an elite defensive back in your eyes that you got to have if you're going to be able to play on the next level?
Having the ability to read a quarterback, being able to play man-to-man press, and being coachable on defense. That's
No
really
doubt. No doubt. And then for you, just specifically you, what is your high IQ, your ball skills? I mean, you roll your tape, man. I mean, it's outstanding. Just you have a feel for the ball and you know how to go get it and make it into a big play. You're not just trying to get an interception, you're trying to score. So talk about that. Where that's kind of come from. How have you grown it to where it is now?
back then when I grew up, I was playing quarterback. Like I was a quarterback growing up, so it was basically like I would just run quarterback power and score touchdowns. So then when I switched my position, it was always like the goal was every time I touch the ball, score a touchdown. So that's really the main thing.
Got you. Now, if you had to say, right, you play quarterback, is there a lot of similarities between quarterback, defensive back, or is it two just vastly different positions in your eyes?
Uh, in my opinion, it's the same thing really because both of the positions are the hardest to play on the field, in my opinion. So because playing DB, you have to read a quarterback, and playing quarterback, you got to read a DB.
Definitely. And then for you, right? Obviously, you had to make the switch, right? So when you coming in, you've played quarterback probably throughout the most of your career up until you got to the varsity level. What kind of goes into? I feel like a lot of fans, media, they don't know like what it takes to be able to flip a position and still be able to excel at it. What kind of goes into that, man? Obviously, you talked about being coachable, but what goes into being able to flip a position and still be successful?
It takes a lot. You gotta be working hard and being able to grind like when you flip the switch because I gotta work 2 times harder because I play both sides of the ball, so I gotta stay after practice and then work some more.
Okay, got you. And then, far as conditioning perspective, Jontavius, talk a little bit about that. I mean, playing both positions, man, you can get gas, man. How do you stay, conditioned enough, man, where you can still give 100%, even though you're gonna be used a lot defensively, you're gonna be used a lot offensively.
Running 110s, hills, and then running fifths.
Got you. Now, do you run track right now?
No sir.
No, okay, but you run the 110s, the hills, so that helps with endurance and stamina and all that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, got you. Now I gotta ask, man, from this past season, man, what was your favorite game, man? Give me some detail. What game did you enjoy the most with your Cardinals this year?
Lovejoy. My favorite game was Lovejoy game.
Really? What did you like about Lovejoy?
It was a great game because it showed our brotherhood because we had went down and then that's when we was able to fight back and we took it to overtime and then on the first play of overtime they fumbled and then the very next play I had scored a game winning touchdown.
What? Wow. Man, okay, so you popped off that game.
Yes sir.
I love to see it, man. And then I want to ask you too, going against Lovejoy. I know that's one of those teams that you like to kind of go against. What was it like, man, going up against another fellow really great player? Same thing with you, man. He's been blowing up. Chat Fairchild. What was that like going up against him in that group?
Oh, it was great. Me and Chad, we like brothers. We because as you know, our schools are closed, so everybody that go to their school knows us. But me and Chad, we brothers. He's a great player, and it was great going against him.
Now I'm sure you and Chad is tight. Now I'm sure you got the bragging rights. So I'm sure whenever you see him, you trash talking like, "Hey, we beat y'all last time."
Yes, sir. We played on spring game.
Yes, y'all do. May 17th, right?
Yes, sir.
That's gonna be a good one, man. Can't wait to see that one. I'm definitely gonna try to pop out for that one, man, and kind of see you. Now I want to talk about a certain aspect, right? And I want you to, keep it real with me. You know, at one point I remember writing an article on you, man. You had 4 offers, right? You
Yes,
had
sir.
Georgia State, Bethune-Cookman, Akron, Pittsburgh. Then you blow up. Now you're at 30 plus, bro. I mean, like every major D1 program wants you. So just talk a little bit about what that process was like. And from your perspective, from player perspective, like what was it like being in that moment? Like just seeing, okay, it's here, but now it didn't went all the way up here. What is that like?
Uh, it's really a lot. Like when you think about it, it's a lot because you got every school trying to recruit you, and then at the end of the day, you got to decide which school is the best for you. But it was great, like having all these schools recruit me and stuff like that, and being able to blow up. But I got to keep working every day.
No doubt about it. And then if you can elaborate a little bit, talk a little about Coach Sherp, just the impact he's had on your career. I mean, I think he does a great job with you guys, getting you guys out there exposure wise. But talk a little about that and the impact he's had on you guys.
Coach Syrup, he's a great coach. He helps us a lot, and every single visit we go on, he's there. Like he takes us on every visit. He talks to us about like school and stuff like that, and he just helps us out with all the coaches.
No doubt about it. And then for you, man, what do you feel like? We talk about certain aspects of your game. What do you feel like is the best part of your game?
My best part of my game
Yeah,
is
it could be either side of the ball. What do you think?
uh, being an athlete, being able to play both sides of the ball, because my mindset is always score a touchdown.
I like that answer. That's a good one. So now I'm gonna throw one out for you. I'm gonna try to make you pick if you got on the next level. We know you're talented and can play both. If you had to pick one on the next level that you got to play, wide receiver, corner, which one you choose, or both?
Both. I want to play both, but if I had to choose, I would pick corner.
And if you had to choose and you had to pick corner, why corner?
Because I like to stop people. Like I like to guard people, and being on that island is fun. Like 1-on-1 is fun, and it's better to say that you lock the person up than say you scored on the person.
Mm, I like that. Okay, I like that. Now let's break down the cornerback position a little bit. Now again, Compared to your knowledge, I'm ignorant. Okay, so I want you to put me on game. I'm letting you put me on game when it comes to corner. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now I want to talk about a couple different ones. Let's talk about press. Right. What is the things you need to do to make sure that you press in the right way? You don't get burnt because sometimes you see guys press and then boom, they don't press the right way. They burnt off the line. It's a tutty. Tell me, what do you need to be good at the press, man?
Make sure you always contain inside shoulder because it's easy. And when a person come out the line, make sure you always physical so you can jab at them. Don't just like let them have free release because that's how receivers they start going. So it's like always put hands on and then make sure you always one step ahead.
Got you. Okay, so we talked about press man. Let's tell me a little bit about off coverage, right? See, sometimes you gotta be off, and then some guys like you that are real elite, you could be off 7, 8 yards, and then you could see a slant or a hitch route, and then boom, you closing on it right there, pick six, whatever. Tell me about what you need to be good at the off coverage type position and still be effective, even though you're not pressing.
Really, same thing. Really, like one step aside, make sure you read what he's doing, and never like commit to a route early because you can commit on this on that slant, but it's like he could do a slow go at the same time. So it's like never
Mm.
make sure you commit too early. So make sure you always like one step behind the off man.
Now, if you can explain that concept, I think it's a really great concept. You said something great right there. Just never bite too early. And like I said, like you said, we can see DBs get torched by that. Biting on a slant route and it be a sluggo. So from watching film, without revealing too many secrets, but watching film, how do you know that it could be potentially a sluggo or it could be a slant? Is that just anticipation, or you got to kind of be patient first and then read the field, then see what the quarterback's going to do? Talk a little bit about that.
It's really more being patient because when you backside, it's like the linebacker he like shoots towards that side more, so you're really by yourself. So it's like make sure you anticipate the route, and because a lot of receivers they might chop, they might run and then they'll chop, but some receivers they run a straight slant, like run straight slant. But it's like some receivers that could do that, like Tyreek Hill, he could do that, and then it's folks like Justin Jefferson they'll like chop and then go up.
Good point. Okay, and then the last one on the corner. Tell me a little bit about zone. Right, zone can also be very tricky because, as you said, you can have a specific side of the field. Let's say it's cover three. You got that little bottom area, that part right there that you're responsible for. But like with you, you're elite with the ball skills and the instincts and the high IQ. You can see something. Oh, I know this is going to be a pick. So same thing. How do you stay disciplined in that moment to kind of still know your assignment, but you could potentially change the game with a pick or a big play?
It's really like uh making sure you can read the quarterback at all times. So it's basically like because his eyes could go this way and then it can come back this way. So it's like making sure you anticipate the route.
Gotcha, man. Okay. Appreciate you explaining that and going into detail, man. I love talking to corners, man, because I know being a corner, man, you gotta have that confidence.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, if you don't have it, then you're done for. But I want to ask you, okay, let's say you got a bunch of kids, man, that look up to you, and what you're doing on the football field, man. Again, we talk about your story, talk about kind of how you went from where you were at to where you are now. You've blown up on the scene. You've been donned a 4-star on three and rivals and things like that. So talk about how cool that is to kind of see that and your work kind of being noticed now. What and then second part of that question, what advice would you give kids that want to eventually get there and be able to kind of get more out there, out on the map, and be able to kind of achieve their dreams?
My advice for the kids will basically be like keep going and make sure that you're always working because you can do it no matter what. Uh, people will well when I was younger, people would always doubt me and tell me that like I would never be good and stuff like that. But I kept working and here I am. So you could do it, and then it's great. Like, it's great being a great inspiration to kids because it's like the kids they love you, and I like because the kids be asking for pictures and stuff like that, and I like giving them pictures. So it's
Does
fun.
that for you, man? Does that ever get old? Because I know like some players they be like, man, I don't want to take no pictures, but when kids come to you, they aspire to be. They're like Jontavius, Jonte, like talk about that feeling, man. How cool that is too.
It's cool. I love the kids because back then when I was young, like I was always like that to like the older kids who was good. So it's like me seeing them reminded them of me.
No doubt about it. Now I gotta ask, man. You went up against some matchups, man. That was really good. Tell me I want to start with team first. What was the toughest team you guys, or in your eyes, you went up against this past year, or if it wasn't this year, just in your career, that team just was a different breed you always gonna remember?
Thomas County Central. But
Mm.
but the best player I played against was the two best receivers I ever played was against Josiah Abdullah from Woodward, the
Mm.
receiver, and Jamari Bryce, the receiver from Carterville.
Mm. Okay, now let's break that down real quick. Talk a little bit about going up against Thomas County Central. What made them different?
Uh, it was just like their work ethic. I could tell they're different because they like they're from down there. So it's
Mm.
like
Okay.
the only thing they really got is football. So it's like they work every single day, and I mean it paid off for them in the long run. They won state championship. So it's like that was a great team, and that's what we lost to in the second round.
No doubt. And then talk a little bit about going up against, we'll break each one down. Talk a little bit about going up against Josiah Abdullah, man, another heavily rated player. I know you pointed him out. What made that matchup tough, kind of going up against him?
It was a good matchup because he's a great player. Him, Jerome Bettis Jr. and they had Ben Grice too. They had uh they had three good receivers, but he was like fast. He was shifty, so it was like guarding him. It was a great experience. And
No doubt. And then real quick, last one on Jamari Bryce. What kind of made him tough?
Jamar Bryce, he's a great player too. Really the same thing. He's fast. He's twitchy. So it's like one blink of eye, you can lose him.
And then real quick, just when you guard, and let me ask you this same kind of thing on that concept. When you guard a switchy, fast, kind of shifty receiver, man, what are some key things you got to do, man, to kind of stay in front of them when they can change this direction within a blink of an eye?
I always read the hips. Like that's for any receiver. Like fast, slow. I always read the hips because any receiver, you could be fast or slow. You can always lose them. So just make sure you read the hips and make sure you know what you're doing.
Got you. And now last one on that. What about the taller receivers? I'm gonna give you like, let's say a 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", and you got like a guy like a Johnny Wilson that used to be at Florida State. When you guarding a tall guy like that, what's kind of that strategy?
The strategy basically is to make sure you stay on the upfield shoulder, so
Mm.
he can't get behind you and then jump over your head. So basically, stay in front of him and then it's 50-50.
That's it, 50-50. I love it, man. All right, so we got two more segments, man, and I'm gonna let you get out of here. We're gonna ask you a little bit about your recruiting and then some fun questions, man. I think you enjoy, man. Get to know you a little bit more. A really special segment. So let's start with recruiting, man. Just where does it stand for you right now? What schools are contacting you the most at the moment?
Uh, every school contacted me right now, so it's basically like my recruitment is open to everybody as of right now because every place is home right now, and then I'm still young, so it's like I'm open to everybody right now.
I feel you. Okay. Now, how was it kind of picking up the offer? You got one recently from Notre Dame. What was that like, man? I mean, such a storied program. We know what the Irish is year in, year out. They're going to be a 9-10 win team. How cool was that getting off from Marcus Freeman?
It was great. Again, offering them because I had came from my 7-on-7 tournament, and that's when I was informed that I had got an offer from them.
No doubt about it. And then if you had to say, man, what campuses have you been on so far that kind of stood out to you?
Georgia, Florida State, Clemson, and Georgia Tech.
Okay. Now, if you can, just piece by piece, those what made those different? Was the environment? Was the atmosphere? The fans? Seeing the facilities. What made those kind of stand out to you?
Fans at Clemson, that was different because
I keep hearing, I keep hearing that about Clemson too.
yes, sir. That day Clemson had played against Florida State, so it was a great environment. That
Oh,
game
you
was
just go
it
for
was
the
packed,
upset.
sir.
Well, how was that environment when they pulled that off, man?
The environment it was packed, and then they was showing Clemson. They was showing a lot of love. Like when recruits that walked past, they was showing a lot of love. Like their fans were
God,
saying they wanted us to come there and stuff like that. But Georgia Tech, their facility is good. Florida State, they feel it stands out a lot. And then their atmosphere. I love Florida.
and then I think the other one you said was Georgia.
Georgia, that's home. Georgia home.
It's just simple as that. Georgia's home.
Yes, sir.
I feel you. I feel you on that, man. Okay, so let's talk just a little bit about kind of your spring schedule, man. I mean, you're a busy guy. I know I know you're running 707. I know you're working out very heavy, but what does it kind of look like just in terms of just visits, man? What you got on the docket, unofficials, officials, spring practices? What kind of you got on the docket as far as your spring, man?
I know I'm going on some unofficial visits to uh, Alabama soon. I'm going to Georgia next week. Going to Florida State next week. Then the week after that, Miami. Then I'm going back. And then I'm going to Ohio State. But right now, it's spring. I'm just playing 707. I play with C1N, Cam Newton team.
Ooh, okay. How's that going, man? Let's talk just real quick a little bit about that. How's that going?
It's going great. Cam is a great coach, and he preaches like brotherhood and stuff like that.
Got you, man. And then I know your guys be all over. Just if you had to say, just give me one lesson you learned from just being on Cam's team that's always stick with you.
That is basically like you can do anything that you put your mind to because and he's a great inspiration. Like everybody loves Cam Newton. Back then when I was young, Cam he was my superhero. But now that I'm around him, it's like he's a great like big brother and father figure.
Love to see that. Okay. Got you, Jontavius. Now, I just want to talk a little bit about one program. I know you was on campus, man, for Georgia Tech. You talked about the facilities. So if you can elaborate, just talk what stood out about the facilities. I know they're building new stuff, man, new weight room. I think they're going to add some different extensions to their stadium. Just what stood out about their facilities at Tech?
Their facility, they just added some new stuff to their field and to their recruiting facility. So it's basically like they bringing in a lot of new stuff. They just got new coaches. As you know, the DB coach from Georgia State, he went over there. Corey Peoples, he's a great coach and he shows a lot of love. So it's basically like they trying to change everything around over there.
No doubt. What's that relationship just been like with the DB coach, Corey Peoples?
It's great.
Okay.
It's
All
great.
right. And then last thing on Tech, you went to their I know you was on campus Friday. You got to see their spring practice. Just what stood out to you, just watching them practice, a kind of a program on the rise. Won 7 games, got a bowl game win against UCF. What stood out about that for you?
uh, the way they like just on the hop, like everybody is one core, like the whole team is just one core, and their brothers too. Like in the film room with them, you can see like the coaches they'll break everything down for you, and they'll like show you like where you messed up, where you did good, but at the end of the day in practice, they picked it up.
No doubt about it. And then just for you overall, right? Obviously, you said your whole thing is open, your recruitment. Just what are some key factors for you look for, man? I know you're probably not gonna shut it down no time soon. You're gonna just enjoy the process. But what are some key things you look for that kind of a school got to check off, to kind of make it like home?
Basically, I want to graduate college, so basically, a school that can help me graduate, help me become a better man in life, and somewhere that I could build like a family at, and I could call home.
No doubt about it. And the last recruiting question, man. Obviously, you talked about Clemson. I know you said Georgia was home, man. Have you been able to been out to a Georgia game so far?
Not yet,
Not yet.
but I
Okay.
will.
Yes, sir. And then when you visited, I know you said for like home, but what stood out to you? What do you like about kind of their DB coach and Coach Kirby Smart? What stood out about that campus and that program?
A lot stood out at that program. Kirby Smart, he's a great guy. He's very funny, like if you know him, and he shows a lot of love, and he always makes sure you're okay and stuff. And then their facilities are good. I love they field because it's grass, and I like playing on grass.
Not a fan of turf, huh? Yeah, I feel you. A lot of players say they don't like the turf, man. They prefer the grass. They should just put grass on all the fields, man. But all right, man, we'll leave the recruiting there, man. I'm gonna ask you some fun stuff to kind of close this out.
Okay.
And I gotta ask you, man. I know you're a corner, so for the fun question, we gotta start, man. Who's the best corner in the game right now?
Jalen runs.
Ah, okay. Why Jalen Ramsey? I gotta hear this hot take, man.
He's very physical, and he reminds me of like me. Like as a physicality wise, but as of like being a ball hawk and all that, my favorite corner is Pastor.
From Denver, yeah, he's good. Okay. Now let me ask you this: as far as studying film, both of those guys, Jalen Ramsey or Patrick Sertan, or it could be anybody else. Who else do you kind of model your game after? You like to just take bits and pieces from?
Jair Alexander.
Okay, why him?
Because he's just like he's also a ball hawk, and then every time he gets a pick, he looking to score.
Yeah, I think your game does resemble him a little bit too, no doubt. Okay, now what about offensively? Right, wide receiver. Do you watch any receivers, or you kind of like do your own thing?
I watch receivers.
Okay, who you watch?
Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Stephon Diggs, basically all the receivers in the NFL.
Got you. So I already know your YouTube is flooded with the highlights.
Yes, sir.
All right, now speaking of highlights, now I can throw it to you. What has been your favorite highlight in your career thus far?
My favorite highlight is it was that game winning touchdown, but uh, getting my third interception in that Dutchtown game.
Mm,
Like it was basically like cementing that like this was a great game because the two that I had intercepted, it was like both of them was touchdowns. But the one on that one, I had got tackled. So it basically like relieving like after that one.
wow, so you had 3 picks in the game, man.
Yes, sir.
That's crazy, bro. I gotta just ask, man. What with for a DB, we know every position is different, right? But
Yes, sir.
how do you know, like you in the zone like that? Like, cause like 3 interceptions, bro, you got to be in the zone. Like, how does that kind of do it? Is it the first one you get? Like, if you can, just talk a little bit about that when you know, like, okay, I got it going tonight. Tonight's a little bit different. Just talk a little bit about that.
Basically during this, it was basically like I was just the whole week I was just working hard at practice. So basically like I was finna play a good game, but I mean it's always like if you practice good, you play good. So it felt like one of those nights that night.
Got you. All right, now we got to talk about Jonesboro. I want to ask you real quick just about your teammates, man. Who is the funniest guy on the team?
The funniest guy on the team is Mario Presley, receiver, a rising senior.
Roger, see what he be doing, man? That be getting y'all cracking up.
He's very funny. He's a great guy in the locker room. He makes great jokes, and he always liked the room when he come around.
Got you, man. Got you. Now, what is trying to think of another one. Now who's the one that be the most locked in before game? Got to say,
Jamar Owens.
Mahomes
Yes, sir.
can be the most locked in. All right, and then last one on teammates, man. Who is the craziest teammate out of everybody that just be doing wild stuff?
The craziest teammate out of everybody. Uh, if I had to say who the craziest teammate, craziest one is Matty Gerald, a rising senior linebacker, middle linebacker.
He's smiling. What Maddox be doing, bro? When he be in the
Matty,
locker room?
Matty does a lot.
I can just tell by you laughing like he be off the chain.
Matty be off the chain.
Oh man, that's funny. Okay, man. All right, so a couple more, man. I'm gonna let you get out of here. Now I gotta ask. We're gonna talk a little bit about food, man. So I'm gonna ask favorite restaurant or favorite fast food spot, and I gotta ask you, if you had to pick between these two items, which one you picking? So, what's the best fast food chain in your opinion? And when you go and you're getting your food, man, what's the order you getting straight out?
Chick-fil-A and number one. I always get the chicken sandwich meal.
So why you like Chick-fil-A over like Zaxby's, Raising Cane's? You got McDonald's, Burger King. What separates Chick-fil-A from the rest for you?
Chick-fil-A is always the go-to. Like after school, the fries are the best fries in my opinion out of any fast food. And chicken sandwiches are good too.
No doubt about it, man. You make me want to go get some Chick-fil-A right now. All right, now I gotta ask you, man. Now you gotta pick between the two. You got wings and you got pizza. Now if they give you an order and they say, "Okay, Jontavius, you gotta pick between wings and pizza." Which one you choosing?
Wings,
I kind of figured you was gonna pick wings. Now I gotta ask, man. In your eyes, what's the best flavor of wings out there?
honey hot.
What make them different, man? Why you like honey hot?
Honey
It's a
hot just
different
good because it's like they're sweet but sour at the same time. Because
one.
it's like they're very good. Like they're very good.
Okay. And then what's the to expound on that? What's the best wing spot? If you know, like man, I got the taste for some wings, man. I'm trying to get some good ones. What's the best spot in Atlanta for that?
AD, American Deli, for sure.
Oh, so the American Deli over Wingstop and
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
I respect that, man. All right, last two. What is the biggest hit that you ever made in a game? It don't have to be varsity football. It can be youth, middle school. What's the biggest hit you ever made in a game, and what made that hit memorable, man?
My biggest hit in the game was this year. It was against Trinity Christian in the spring game. I mean the scrimmage game. I had came down and they threw a wheel route, and I came down to hit a 6'5" tight end.
Mm, 6'5". Okay, so you came down thumping.
Yes, sir. That was the first game at corner.
Wow, what? And you had your biggest hit in the first game?
Yes, sir.
That's crazy, man. So that was that just instincts? Like you kind of knew where it was going?
I knew where it was going. Like I read the quarterback.
Man, yeah, you different breed with being a quarterback, bro. Yeah, that's one of the parts that make you elite, man. All right, last two actually. What is your favorite pair of shoes? Right, give me the brand, and what's your favorite pair of shoes out right now?
My favorite pair of shoes out right now is it got to be New Balances.
Okay, what you like about the new passes?
The New Balances, they're great shoes. They're very comfortable, and they look very good.
You're different. Nobody really says New Balances, bro. They mostly be like Jordans, the ones, the threes, the sevens, the fives. You know what I'm saying? But you said a different one, man. I'm shocked. I thought it was gonna be Nike or Jordan.
No, sir.
Nah. All right. So new passion, new balance. Like I said, Jonte different. Last one. Let you get out of here, man. Just tell me, what are your goals for 2024? Personal. Got to know what you're trying to accomplish in 24, and then what you're trying to accomplish as a team with Jonesboro, a team right there on the map, man, and trying to make they big statement this upcoming year.
My goal for this year is to make All State again, win back-to-back Region Player of the Year, and I want to make All National Team match pros. And then as a team, I want to the end goal is to win the state championship, but build a better brotherhood with my brothers and just go out there and compete.
No doubt. Now, do you have an interception goal or a touchdown goal offense?
Yes, sir.
All right, what you got?
I got this year. I want to record 16 touchdowns on offense. I want to have 20 total touchdowns, and then my interceptions I want to have 8.
There you go. 20 tutties total, 16 receiving, and then you want 8 interceptions on defense. Y'all heard it here. Now, man, while we close out, where can the people find you, man? Give me your Instagram where they can go follow you, man, support you, and also your Twitter.
My Instagram is at @2hard HAARD Jonte JONTE, and then on Twitter, my Twitter is Jontavius W23.
There you go, guys. Well, as you said, Jontavius Wyman, man, one of the hottest out in the game right now, ranked as high as number 14 in the state. I think number 8 is his position according to On3 Sports. It's the next big thing, man. Over 30 plus offers. Kids, a name you want to know. Jontavius Wyman, y'all go give him a follow, man. That's all we got for today. Jontavius, man, it's been a pleasure. Thank you, Coach Serb, Coach Carmichael, for allowing me to do this interview, man, and appreciate you coming on.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, guys. So there goes Jontavius, man. Appreciate him coming on. I know he's a busy guy, man. Hope you guys enjoyed that interview. As he said, got some big goals in 2024. I'm sure he's going to accomplish them. They are going to be playing Lovejoy May 17th. I'm definitely going to try to get out there a couple times, but that one should be able to go. So definitely will be out there pretty soon to go see them. Got Cortez Redding, Maddox Geralds. They got some dudes, man. So definitely going to go out there, go check them out, man. And see a little bit about the Jonesboro program. But that's all I got. Hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you soon in the next show, next interview, and hope you guys enjoy it. Peace.